It was good to see Phillip get the Offensive Player of the Week. And then as I saw that, my heart sunk because the Defensive Player of the Week was Solomon Thomas. And the plays that he made as a three technique, watching the tape, extremely impressive for Stanford. He pretty much was a one-man wrecking crew in that game. Stanford's a very good football team. They've played a really tough schedule so far, and I've been impressed with what they are doing. You know, Coach Shaw does an excellent job with them. You know, they're big, powerful. You know, their best player didn't play last week and got beat up a little bit, I think, in the game before. But I imagine we'll see Christian. I would expect we would. So they're a very, very good football team, and went to Notre Dame and won there without their best football player. I think that's pretty impressive. So I'll take any questions at this time.
Coach, obviously your goals are bigger than just getting to a bowl game, but now that you're just one game away from bowl eligibility, is that a carrot you can kind of dangle in front of your team?
We're talking about Pac-12 championship, so every game matters. And if we do that, then we'll get to bowl game too. So all we're talking about is trying to win a Pac-12 championship, and you know, we kind of, in a little bit of a way, kind of control our own destiny in a way. So which is good.
Coach, yourself and the players seem to have done a really good job all season of with the one game at a time sort of approach. Does that become more challenging, more difficult to preach as the wins pile up and these games get bigger and bigger?
It makes it easier to preach, to be honest with you. When you're winning and you know the next game's bigger, they get up for it. It's harder to preach when you're losing because, you know, here we go again, so to speak, in a way. You got to get them up. You got to find more motivation. I don't have to motivate them. They're going to play Stanford. They're in first place in the Pac-12 South, and they're rolling, and they want to keep doing that. So I do motivate them, but I don't have to do as much. And they understand the importance. So when they come to practice and they watch film and they realize there's something on the line that hasn't ever been there before for them, that's exciting, and they're excited when they come.
Coach, out of curiosity, what has a guy like Alex Kelley brought to this team?
Wow. Too long for me to sit here and say, to be honest with you. Alex is he's a legacy, okay, and that's extremely important. His dad loves this place. He loves this place. He's always wanted to be a Buff. And you hear that all the time, but when you actually get to live it and do it, and he's been here through, you know, a lot of rough things, and his leadership on that football team, he's very well respected by his teammates. He's really respected by the offensive linemen because he runs the show, and he's done an excellent job with us this year. Him and the quarterback are the key of us going fast, and he is able to get us up there, get the calls out quick, see it, go with it, and he's had excellent snaps, and that keeps the flow going. So Alex is played really well for us, but off the field, the type of person he is, the type of charisma he has, and he has that infectious love for CU. And I think that's extremely important, especially as we've been trying to build this, and as we keep building it, he's a big, important part of that.
Coach, Cepho is having his best year, and just came out that he was leading the country in adjusted completion percentage. But can you kind of just talk about who he is and maybe evaluate him compared to some other quarterbacks you've coached in the past and what qualities that he really has?
Wow. I've said a lot about Cepho over the years. The best thing I can say, I can say a million things about Cepho, and I'm not going to compare him to other quarterbacks I've had because I loved them all. And they all had different qualities. But Cepho would be the toughest. I've said that a lot, and I think y'all see that. And then the other thing is he's also extremely mentally tough. And our team has caught up with Cepho. And he just kept pushing and kept going and kept working. Yeah, he had some mistakes here and there. But now that we've got a really good football team all around him, now you can really see how good he is. And I think that's a mark of a person that he never gave up. He always had confidence. He didn't have a cocky confidence. He had a quiet, what I call humble confidence, which is the best to have. And he has done that, and the team has followed him.
Mike, when you and Darren and Brian all got together and started talking about the offense this year and building what you guys did, what did that process look like? What were the meetings like, and how kind of long did it take to formulate what you guys wanted to see out on the field?
Well, I sat down with them and told them what I was looking for and understanding, and I wanted to mesh a couple things, and I wanted to tweak some of the things we were doing and still utilize a lot, because I didn't want it to be a whole terminology change, in which there was a little bit of terminology change, but I wanted it to be something that was similar to what we were doing, but I guess the best word is to make it more extraordinary. It was, keep the ordinary things we had, and then add a little extra to it without blowing the whole thing up. And that way I thought that our team would have experience, they would understand, we could communicate better, we could function better. Really, a couple of the things that really helped us is how we practice. Y'all have heard me say that a lot. I knew exactly how I wanted to basically practice on defense. I had an idea on offense, but then I started realizing we need to be a little bit more efficient. I wanted to play a little bit faster than we were and have to be able to do that, and then be able to execute a little bit better. And so we changed up a little bit how we practice, and Chev brought in some great ideas that they did at Texas Tech with the efficiency part of practice and execution, and we combined all of that. And then those two guys have worked together. It's always evolving. And then, Clayton Adams has done an excellent job, because the offensive line has got to be on the right page. It doesn't matter what everybody else does. And so he's done an excellent job meshing all that together. So that's been good. And Darian Hagan's done an excellent job with the running backs. And Coach Bernardi's done a great job with our tight ends, because now we're moving them more and putting them in the backfield, and that takes a lot of other expertise you got to work with. So it was all of those guys working together. But our first couple meetings was, this is what I envision. Now y'all mesh it out. And then I came back with them. Here's what we're seeing. I said, okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, what about this? And then we've just kept evolving from there.
And then just to follow up on that, Philip talked about how part of the process, once you guys realized how much faster you wanted to go, was the conditioning aspect of summer. What were kind of the guidelines or suggestions you guys gave them for the summer when you weren't able to be around them in terms of getting in shape?
Well, the spring practice helped them a little bit with some of the things that we were doing to help us play a little bit faster. And then Coach Wilson did a great job of our conditioning for that. And then as they practiced, and then really when we got into summer camp, we were really able to infiltrate that in the way we practiced and the way we did our team periods and the way we did our individual periods and our group periods. The way we handled that was all predicated on tempo.
Mike, playing Stanford is obviously a unique challenge in this conference, because they kind of play football differently than most of the other teams. You talked about your team's mental toughness finally catching up with Cepho. I mean, that's what Stanford sort of built itself on, toughness, mental and physical toughness. So talk about the challenge of playing them and where you see this team at as a team getting ready to face that challenge.
Yeah, they were physically tougher than we were out there last year. We played them hard for a while, and it kind of got away from us right at the end of the half. And so we have to be more physical than we were last year. We are a more physical team now. Exactly what you said, mentally tough. We have to go in there and do that, and stand toe to toe with them. And we can't just stand toe to toe. We have to excel what they do, surpass what they do, to be able to win the football game. And so that's a big challenge for us. Our guys do remember last year playing hard against them, but them kind of taking it to us for sure. And so they've got to go in there with that mentality. All week we have to have that mentality. We are a tougher physical football team than we have been, and that's been a process. It did not just happen this year. Every year we kind of got a little bit better, and then it all kind of came to fruition this year with the maturity of the team and the guys that have played and understand it.
Coach, the player development in this program, that was one of the things that Todd Graham noted after the game on Saturday, was that the player development, it was the same guys. How crucial is it for this program that you continue to have that year in and year out?
Well, it's extremely critical. When you come to the program, when we came here, you're going to have to develop it. We recruited extremely hard, and we recruited some really good football players that you can see now. But when we signed them, everybody's going, who are those guys? And they had to get a little bit bigger, and they had to get a little bit stronger, and they had to play. So how we were with them every day in every facet is how you develop and build a program. Now we're fortunate. We're signing some guys that are a little bit more developed down the road. But you still have to do the same process, just the process should go a little quicker. And hopefully you won't have to play as many young guys all at one time. You're just putting them in there at different places. And then when you do that, you're reloading. You're not, totally rebuilding a program. And we shouldn't ever have to rebuild. We should just have to reload.
How close is Addison Gillum to being the player he was as a freshman in your estimation?
Wow. He is right there. He's right there now. It's just been turmoil. That's just the best way to explain it. It's been turmoil for him. And to see him walk, I might start crying. To see him walk through it like he has been pretty inspirational, to say the least. And the way he's played these last few games, when he hit Manny, I said, ooh, and then at the same time I'm going, I hope Manny's not hurt. I really did say that in my mind. And now that he's 230-something and he can run like he could before, and he has that smile on his face, and I always tease him about his hair flowing, but I love seeing that hair flow when he runs. And it's just been awesome. And the kids have rallied around him because they realize what he is, and they've seen him fight through all those things, and it's been really awesome. And it's been a great life lesson, not only for him, but for me. It's been a great life lesson for our team. And I just hope and pray that he stays healthy and keeps playing, because it's a lot of fun to watch him play, and he gets pure joy out of it. And so do I.
As a follow-up to that, how is he better than he was as a freshman?
He is so much bigger. I mean, when you watch him take on linemen and stuff, before he could slip them, but if you ever had to face him up, he would kind of get driven back. And also when he hits the running back doesn't fall forward. He falls the other way. And he's able to make his impression. He could make all the tackles and run by people, but he would tackle them. Now he's hitting them. And there's a difference. There's a little bit of an intimidation factor there. So that's his power is better. He's the same guy, but now he has more power.
Is a game like Stanford sort of tailor-made for that middle line?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game for him. I hope so. I mean, I think he'll play well, and he should be very physical there and be able to do that.
Mike, I got a question about recruiting, and I know you can't speak about
Yeah.
specific kids.
Right.
But your guys' situation here they call it the rise here at Colorado. And I
Uh-huh.
think most of the schools that you recruit against have probably, to some degree, already risen.
Yeah.
They've arrived. Yeah, everyone wants to get better, but they've been to bowl games. They've maybe won some championships here and there. But with you guys, with this initial rise, you haven't been there yet. This program hasn't arrived. Is that a powerful message that you use on the recruiting trail, and does that resonate with young kids? Because I would think they want to be part of something special,
Right.
and this is unique.
Right. There's a lot of different things you talk to about young people and their parents about our program, and it boils down to what our whole value system is the first and foremost thing we talk about. And then the football program of where it's headed, they see it, they feel it, they understand it, is extremely important. If we weren't going in the right trajectory, a lot of these young men that have committed to us now would not have. And then, also you add in the facilities. I call the facilities the icing on top of the cake. The facilities are phenomenal. And once they see everything and that, it really helps. But definitely them believing and also seeing that, we feel like that we don't feel like we know that we're going to be a top program in the country and be able to compete year in, year out, to have an opportunity to be a Pac-12 champion is where we're headed, and they see that. And we're 5-2 right now. We got a lot of big games ahead of us, and we need to finish a lot of those games, and I believe we will, and that will all help recruiting for sure.
You just talk a little bit about your kicking situation.
It's fluid. It's the best thing I can tell you. Those young men are working hard. Like I said, they're relatively young in kicking the field goals and the extra points and the pressure of that. And so far, it really hasn't hurt us. It's not helped us all the time. It's helped us a few times. We'd like it to help us every game. And they've got good legs. They're working at it. They had a really good day today. And the good thing about both those young men, they're working extremely hard, and I think both of them want to be the kicker all the time. But if one of them's not doing good, we can put the other one in. And the other one's always performed, so that's a good thing. And we'll just keep working at it as we go from there, and see how it works out.
You looking forward to going back to the Bay Area? Is this your first trip back to that area since you got here?
No, we played Cal. I don't even want to talk about that game. So, yeah, we always like going back to Bay Area, but it's really not a time to really see friends and that type of thing. We won't have any time to really do that. I know that I've had a lot of texts and phone calls from a lot of my former players from San Jose State that'll be in the stands and at the game and that type of thing. And so after the game, I'd probably get to see a few of those guys before we get on the bus to head back. That was a very special place in our family's lives for the 3 years we lived there.
Philip was asked this, but who do you think has the best hair on the team?
Who has the best hair on the team? Cepho. Yeah, Cepho.
Not the worst hair in your opinion.
Yeah, I don't. No, I'm just teasing. I don't know who has the best hair on the team. I know some of them they need to get haircuts. I know that. I tell them that all the time. So who's the worst hair on the team?
Well, who most needs a haircut?
Oh shoot. I don't know. I tease Moeller all the time because his hair just bushes out. But I don't know what it is about the hair hanging out the back of the helmets, but I guess Palomalo started all that, I guess, back when it kind of got going. The best hair on the hair team, is everybody would say it, is N.J. Fallows. You know, he could do the commercials. I mean, there's no doubt. All right, thank you.